Grove. Now, before I get started, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for being here on a very warm summer evening. I know it's not easy. I'm sure you can find about 1,000 other things to do, but I really appreciate that you're with me here tonight. Let's see. I want to make sure that I recognize the Falls Event Center, Future Energy Savers, Insurance 121, Culinary Cruiser. I know you're back there, Keith. You just snuck out. And Amy. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And of course, they're providing all of the food this evening. Thank you. Right. Also, Capital Collision Center and the desserts tonight are provided by Sinful Treats. Thank you very much, Ariel. And also, Ruland's Used Office Furnishings. They're helping us out getting furnishings for our election office that will be opening up very, very soon. Let's see. I'd like to thank the Honorable Sophia Sherman for being here tonight. I'd also like to thank Commissioner Maida in the back for joining me and supporting me. Let's see, I'll look around the room, make sure I didn't miss, but the important people that I missed are actually all of you. Again, those of you who came out tonight to support on this really warm summer evening, I appreciate it. I've also got to thank my family, my beautiful bride Angela. So, when we thought about a theme for tonight, Angela suggested make a splash. And so I originally thought about a diving board and doing the cannonball. And then I thought, well, one, I'm not a very strong swimmer. And two, I don't think anybody wants to see me in a swimsuit.
A Speedo.
Oh. You crossed the line. So after a good laugh, she said, no, as usual, Kevin, you're missing the point. It needs to be a theme that explains what we're doing and how far we've come so far. It needs to be a theme that highlights how your campaign is making a splash. It can't be that we're just running another campaign. It needs to highlight how people are talking about me, and how we're highlighting a new direction. And no, I'm not talking about a boy band. New direction. Work with me, people. Is it One Direction? No. Whatever, New Direction, One Direction, it's all boy band. Whatever. Way to ruin the joke. Anyway, the event and the campaign need to highlight how working to bring a change to a community that is hungry for a change. And so, as usual, Angela's right. And that's why we're here. To talk about the splash that we're making in Elk Grove with your help. So, I've been hopping around, going to festivals and fiestas and parades and walks and galas and banquets. And the reality is that I'm not doing that because I'm running for mayor. I'm doing that because that's what we always do. That's who Angela and I are. Just being myself. And I'm not doing these as an attempt to stage political events or bring on slogans or anything like that. I've been doing a lot of walking and a whole lot of listening, and I've been hearing a lot of great feedback. The idea of listening isn't new. It's something that I've always done. But it's not what we've experienced in City Hall over the last few years. So now at our kickoff in March, I said, I'm going to start my campaign by listening. And splash! We've got listening tours, we've got listening sessions popping up all over Elk Grove. You know, I think it's great that people are finally listening because it's time for the residents of Elk Grove to be heard. So, that's the first ripple in the splash of what we're trying to make in Elk Grove. Now, I was at the Commons the other day, and I had the opportunity to sit down with a friend of mine, Ernie Costa. He's a retired Coast Guard veteran, 38 years. 38 years, that's a long... He actually went in when he was 15. He got kicked out, and then he got to come back when he was 18, because he wasn't old enough yet.
And he's 92 years old now.
92. Did you hear that? 92 years old. He's a wonderful man. Very wise man, okay? And so, you know, what he told me was, he said that, you know, so many politicians simply are not genuine. He said, my advice to you, Kevin, just be you. And it sounds simple, and it is. But it's not what we're used to with politicians. Then I was at the Elk Grove Memorial Day service just this, well, one Monday ago. And a gentleman came up and he said, you know, what I want to see from our leaders in Elk Grove, what I want to see from our representatives, is that they're present in the community, that they show up. He said, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. Well, that's the next ripple we're going to make. Typically, politicians don't show up unless there's a contribution or a news camera involved, and no one ever calls them on it. Residents should expect that if someone wants to lead here in Elk Grove, that they should suit up and show up to get out there to the community and see what people are doing and the impact that they have and how they're making a difference, and then help make their attempts easier. So that's the next splash that we're going to make. If politicians don't or won't show up, then on election day, we're not going to show up for them. Now, politicians don't say what they mean. Elk Grove residents should expect their leaders to say what they mean and mean what they say, not just in an election year, but every single day. Instead of calculating every word, say what you mean. Now, you're going to make mistakes. I make mistakes. All right? I made some mistakes tonight with my speech. That happens when you get in front of people. That happens when you lead from the front where leaders are supposed to be. The community doesn't expect perfection. So if you make a mistake, own it. Apologize. Learn from it. And move on. So let's stop following the polls and start being straight with the public. The thing is, and maybe it's why politicians don't listen, is that they just don't respect the people who put them there. Elk Grove residents should expect respect. Mr., Mrs., Ms., Father, Doctor, okay, whether you have a title or you don't, you expect respect at the dais and on the street. Now, I don't know about you, but I can't wait for the respect tour. Although, you know, I'm thinking about the bill when we have Aretha Franklin going. We'll have Aretha Franklin going around to every neighborhood in the city. I'm sure that tax bill is gonna be a good one. Look, gimmicks aren't respect. It's something you earn, and it's something that comes from the heart. We can do better. I'm listening. because I value what others think. I'm showing up because I have always valued. I'm showing up because I have always shown up and been involved. I'm respectful of others, even when we may disagree, because that's what my parents and the military taught me to do. I'm running with a servant's attitude. I'm running to serve, not to rule. But this campaign really isn't about me. Okay, so it's a little bit about me, because I really want you to vote for me, of course. But the campaign is about doing things differently. It's about getting things done. It's about a new direction. And I'm still not talking about a boy band, by the way. In the coming months, I'll be discussing a vision for Elk Grove. I'll be walking a lot of neighborhoods. I'll be inviting you to join in the discussion about what we, the residents, and the businesses want for our Elk Grove. Thank you for helping me to make a splash, and I appreciate your support as we continue to move forward.